The Izzy and Stacy relationship was one that I was initially rooting for, guys. However, on episode 9, as I continue to watch, I don't think they're gonna make it. Now, spoiler alert, what I just say? Spoiler alert, okay? Let's get it. So let's go back to the beginning. I was rooting initially for Izzy because when I looked at his positive traits, he was very emotionally vulnerable with his emotions. He understood what caused his traumas, being a Jehovah's Witness. And anybody who, matter of fact, all the people that I know that were raised Jehovah's Witness, they slow. I'm just being honest. Like, once they get out of that, they turn into freaks. They turn into like club demons, okay? They at the club, they popping bottles. They trying to hit anything left and right. Ladies, I'm sorry for being that vulgar, but I just got to keep it real. Because there's something about that religion. I think it suppresses people, and once they get out of it, then they just turn up, So Izzy is the type of dude that wants to talk about things, right? I gotta keep it real, and I don't hate Stacy or Izzy, but they are messy. They are messier than a 2-year-old at McDonald's. Okay, now the thing about Izzy that I noticed that kind of is alarming to me is, why is this dude always crying? This dude cry more than Drake. And by the way, I ain't listened to Drake album recently. I'm not trying to listen to Drake's new album. But the reality is that Izzy, whenever there is a confrontation with Stacy, he get the crying. It's like he trying to deflect the situation and cry. Let's roll the clip, bruh.
You make me feel like what I do is not good enough all the time.
I'm over it. I feel like there's always something and I just can't do it.
Bruh, I gotta keep it real with y'all. I don't know any man that just can cry in front of a woman like that, because if the women keep it real in the comment section, if women keep it all the way real, a man crying like this constantly is a turn off, okay? Now, I understand if you cry, if it's your wedding, or your wife is having your first or second or third child, or your grandmama died, but this dude just be crying. And the reality is that, look, I understand he's an emotional dude. I'm emotional. I'm not even gonna hold you, but I don't cry in front of women, and this dude just be always crying. And you got to think about it like this. Do you think that Stacy finna be cool with all this crying? And then another weird part about Izzy is, for some reason, he's still hung up on Johnny. Now, I got to keep it real with y'all. I think that Izzy and Johnny had a better connection. However, because of the fact that Johnny had all these red flags, Izzy had to skedaddle. Roll the clip.
I'm sure you are looking at that and then looking at me. I'm sure you're glad. And for me, I'm getting more and more furious that I'm in the same boat as that.
You know what? I got to keep it 100. Remember back in the pods, Izzy kept comparing Stacy with Johnny, which was a big no-no to me. I don't know why you would do that. You're trying to compare women. And of course, you know, Izzy, that women, they remember everything. A woman finna remember what you did in 1984 when, you left the toilet seat up. They gonna bring that up in any argument, dog. Like, you can't be doing that. Like, it's just, And then, of course, they had the conversation about his credit and him being broke. Now, the reality is this. I think the dude was stupid for trying to hide that, but I got to keep it 100. I think he did that because he knew that if he told Stacy he ain't got it like that, then Stacy would have given the axe. So that's one of the reasons why he didn't mention it. So what I initially liked about Stacy is that she is a girl's girl. When Johnny was crying about Izzy, she was there to console her. When Aaliyah was crying about Uche, she was also there. Well, it was mostly Lydia. However, Johnny is there, she riding for her girls. Another thing is, like I told y'all, she's daddy's girl, she has standards, and she's not a pushover. However, in the latter episodes, I'm starting to notice some things about Stacy that I'm not feeling. Roll the clip.
I found out that she knew I was being cast She wanted us to be on this experiment together. Is your face okay? Hold on, she blocked my Instagram. Is your face okay?
Y'all see, Stacy is got all the smoke for Johnny. Now I get it. When they was in the pods, they bonded. But when Stacy found out allegedly, not allegedly, because we saw it on the tape, let's keep it 100, that Johnny was talking ish about Stacy. Now you see the gloves is off and the Karen is in the building. Let me say it again. Karen is here and Karen wants all that smoke, okay? So I do think that Stacy is insecure about Johnny, partially because of the fact that Johnny and Izzy had a tighter relationship. Remember when Izzy was like, yo, I have fun with you, but let's get deeper, let's be vulnerable. And Stacy wasn't willing to do that. And part of me thinks the reason why that is because Stacy is emotionally closeted. So what I mean by that is that her emotions are kind of tight. She don't really show you who she is unless she completely trusts you. And at this stage, I don't think she trusts Izzy yet. Let me roll another clip and give you more evidence of this.
Let me talk.
I am.
I felt...
And I'm giving my opinion while you talk.
Y'all know Netflix be hating with the copyright. But guys, really quickly, this is just a quick example of how Stacy's not listening to understand Izzy. Stacy is listening to overtalk. She's listening to cut him off. And this is a huge problem. Roll the clip.
Mistakes, but I really tried to be good to people. This isn't the time to understand each other. She's fake, two-faced. I can't get far enough away from her.
And this is another thing I don't like about Stacy is if she don't like you, that Jezebel spirit come out. You see how mean-spirited she is? And you know, I know a lot of people find her baby voice cute. I find it kind of weird. I don't know, you're a grown-ass woman. Ain't nobody trying to hear you sound like a little baby. I find that a little, weird. And the reality is with Stacy, you look at her and, right now, she's really showing y'all who she is. Now, there's a lot of controversy with what her dad said regarding love is blind, but sometimes love likes to fly first class, right? Roll the clip.
Love is blind, I get that, but sometimes love wants to fly first class.
Now, a lot of people are mad at Stacy because they think she's materialistic. When I saw that clip, and not just the clip, but the whole footage of when Izzy met the father, everything was explained to me because Stacy grew up in an upper class household, so she's used to a particular lifestyle. But the reality is that Izzy made it seem like, yo, I got this, it's not a problem. Now, I would not have an issue with Izzy if Izzy were to be like, yo, I don't really got it like that, right? But the reality is a woman like Stacy, she's used to luxurious things. And here's the thing, my philosophy is always this. Don't ask somebody that you can't do for self. Let me say that again. Don't ask of somebody that you can't do for self. So don't ask a man to get you a Gucci bag, a Louis bag, if you can't get it yourself. Now, if you can get it yourself, okay, cool. But the reality is that if Stacy's looking for a rich man, she gonna have to wait for Izzy to get to that level. Let's keep it 100. Or she's gonna have to reconsider, read the letter, and maybe get a different dude. But the reality is Stacy is what, 34 now? I don't think they're gonna get married, number one. Number two, if she does want a rich dude, is a rich dude at 34? If a rich dude wants to have kids, Stacy's kind of pushing it at this point. So her best bet is probably to marry a dude that's older. Now, I know for some of y'all ladies listening, y'all part of team sprinkle, sprinkle. But the reality is that a dude that's 34, 35, around Stacy's age, he's most likely to marry a woman that's younger if he's looking to have children. Now, in conclusion, y'all, I think that Izzy and Stacy are both miserable. That's why they keep attacking Johnny. That's not to give Johnny a pass because I don't think Johnny is innocent. But I think that Stacy, money matters to her more than she lets on. Money matters to her more than love. I got to keep it real. And Izzy would have been better off with a woman that he has more of an emotional connection with. I think he's trying to, I don't know, some people are saying that he's trying to emotionally manipulate her. I don't think that's it. I just think that Izzy likes to wear his heart on his sleeve. But Stacy's not that type of girl that's going to be crying with you. And I think that if they were to stay together, it's going to turn Stacy off because she's not that type of girl. And so real talk, but I could be wrong because remember in the pods, there's so much content and conversation that we don't get to see. But the reality is that he's in debt and that he didn't tell her and he has got bad credit is definitely a red flag for Stacy. Now, I think that episode 10 will be very interesting, but I don't think they're going to make it. I just think that Stacy is not connected to Izzy on an emotional level. And I think that Izzy is still trying to be a playboy. I mean, remember when he had that lost and found? I ain't forget about that. He had that lost and found with all the girls' earrings and wristbands and hair ties, whatever, right? Yo, this dude is a trip. Anyway, this season, guys, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. This season is a dud. This season is a dud, man. Let's get ready for the finale, and I'm gonna be here for the reunion. I'm out. Peace.